I want to welcome you all to the Crypto Kingdom at Bitcoin Spike. This is London, guys. We have a special program today. We nailed it yesterday, guys. Absolutely hammered this target. I want to point that out to you guys. Let me go ahead and plug in right now. Guys, we had some hot coins, guys, and this is Bitcoin. We're going over the details on Bitcoin. You guys know that. I'm a former financial analyst. You understand that? I have some industry experience, unlike a lot of people in the space. So I look forward to being able to share that level of experience with you. Now, I have just posted Gate. Gate is the exchange you see in the background. It's a phenomenal exchange. Lots of coins. They got Bitcoin. They got Dogecoin. All types of coins, guys. And some hot coins, too. We have altcoins. Then we have hot coins, guys. Hot coins are the ones that go, I'd say, 2x or 3x within a period of days or hours. So there are some hot coins on there. You guys might want to take a look at it. Some coins you won't find on other exchanges. Now, crack your knuckles out. In terms of the target that you guys see on your screen that was just hit, guys, that is a level of precision that is rarely achieved, guys, in the crypto space. I like to use the fundamentals of technical analysis. Absolutely. When I talk about the level of precision and when I bring up a book like this from the New York Institute of Finance and it plays out like that, you guys need to understand this is the place for you to plug in. If it seems like it's too long of a stream, plug in. If you have something else to do, plug in. You guys can do it if your money's on the line, and not just Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin directs the entirety of the market. So plug into Bitcoin, plug into altcoins, plug into crypto here at Bitcoin Spike and Crypto Kingdom, guys. It's me. I'm London. We are excited to bring this information to you. Not that it's gone down, but that we prepared you for this hit. That's a big deal. As you looked at the level of resistance yesterday, I gave you the precise figure, 44,632. What you see on your screen is a hit, direct hit on the daily. On the daily, mind you, on the daily, we call it the daily hit. Wow. Okay, that's a big deal, guys. The 44,632. Yeah, scratch your head. On the daily to call the hit? That's not exactly easy. Thank you guys for subscribing, for being VIPs. I know you guys have a lot of options in terms of everything. This is the place. You are the reason it is the place, because we have, guys, a phenomenal time. I want to let you guys know, we have investment bankers. We have, who joined in the beginning, guys? We have former, current current exchange employees, crypto exchange employees. So yeah, we attract that level of acumen. It's some engineering minds, some logistic minds, some minds that definitely, while they're in crypto, they want to know if their holdings are going to decrease by 5% or on altcoins 15 to 20%. We also want to know where to get in. That's the next question. We're going to cover that today. Where are you guys looking at getting in now that we have expressed a bit of softness in the market? I'm just going to say softness. We're at a point right now where this hit is not a tragic episodic event. Okay, this is I would say an expressed softness in the market right now. So amidst this huge trend, and guys, when I say, when we call this, I need you guys to know, when we call this level of resistance, it's not being negative, it's just being accurate. So I want you guys, I'm always trying to deliver the most accurate information in a timely manner so that you can maximize your profits. This is how we do it. Guys, if you didn't catch the stream yesterday, I exactly gave you this figure in the stream yesterday. The VIP were prepared. Guys, that's the top level of membership. If you're not VIP, I don't know what you're doing, guys, because we have the best group in the back, and in terms of maximizing your profits, if you're not doing well in crypto, guys, you need to get with the right group. So I'm just going to say that. In terms of the run up, it's been phenomenal, guys. The same way, I want to cover this, the same way that we just called this yesterday, guys, you need to know this, the same exact way, whether or not you've been plugged in, the same exact way we just struck into that level of resistance on Bitcoin, bam, okay? While other people are throwing millions of dollars at the wall on this and making an episode about it, guys, that's fine if the indication is there, but I talked about the level of resistance, okay? There's no use in wasting 5% or 10% of $1 million or an $8 million or $10 million. No, that doesn't cut it, guys. Or $5,000 or $500. There's no reason to do that. It's not cool. You guys understand it's not cool to lose money, right? So we try and be cool on this channel. Appreciate you putting up with the sunglasses. It's a little bright in here with all the lights. How about that? As we look at the entirety of the move, I want you guys to understand one thing. The bottom, guys, this bottom feature right here that you saw with that level of precision, guys, I want you guys to know with the same level of specificity and precision, guys, we caught the bottom. So in terms of catching the bottom, hitting the top, guys, we're 100% on that, guys. Very, very nice. The bottom was a very, very rapidly accelerating small baby ascending triangle. You guys understand it was an ascending triangle. We'll have to dig into the smaller time frames. I'm going to do it because I think that you're a bit of a captive audience right now in terms of your attention. I'd like you to just kind of pay attention to that. If you want to go, why don't you do this? Go back to the other streams, go back into the feed on the VIP and see how we did that, guys. In terms of I think the 5-minute will express exactly the post I gave to the VIP on that. And guys, I do try and spread the information out through the YouTube space so that the VIP who are busy, etc., aren't in the back rooms. They can still receive this critical information, guys. That's the idea. So in terms of where we're at, let's just again measure. Let's go back and measure. Let's measure. Yesterday I went to the macro and I told you I had done the specific calculations. You guys understand that, to ground zero. The specified, guys, the nuanced specific calculations, I did them yesterday. This was not by chance. In terms of the entirety of the move, you're looking to about 50%, over 50% the entirety of the move. It's been phenomenal, guys, and I'd say about roughly 20 days right now. So 50% on a position, guys, in Bitcoin is beautiful. Now, how many people listen to the line of resistance discussion? Why? Because, guys, if you look at 5%, 6% drop, if you can avoid that drop, we definitely want to do it. Now, we'll talk about the softness that it's expressing. I'm going to call this softness. It's a soft, guys, amidst a 50% move, it's just a level of softness. If you have a tolerance for 5%, I understand that. If you have a tolerance for 55% in terms of the retracement, I don't understand that. People who sold Bitcoin to people at the top, no. With that same level of precision, I want to let you guys know. You need to know with the same level of accuracy and precision that I brought you this yesterday, the 44,495, I brought that to you yesterday, guys. In terms of that, understand that level of precision was also right here at the top, guys, at the top. And not just the generalized top, we're kind of at a top. No, I'm talking about accuracy down to there. Bam. Okay, that move, bam. Okay, that was the level of accuracy with right here, guys, right here. So in terms of, the levels of accuracy, what we're trying to provide you, I just want you to know it's not me tooting my own horn or whatever you want to say. I'm not being egotistical. I want to differentiate this channel from the other channels in terms of the level of accuracy. As you're plugged in and your money is on the line, guys, it's not financial advice. Okay, I tell people I'm never going to talk to your wife, whatever they're your husband, whatever decisions you make, that's your decision. You guys understand the crypto space is volatile, it's risky, etc. These are the types of, I'd say scheduled streams, etc., delivery of information that can make the difference between you making money or not. That's a fact. Why do I know that? Because yesterday I pointed out the level of resistance. Okay, absolutely calculated it. Got up very early to do that, guys, and I have no problem. I'm very happy to bring you that information. But I got up early to get the calculations done to see what was going on, and then bam, you guys understand that. There's the hit right there. That's very nice for us to be able to express that. It's not hype. It's not anything, guys, other than accurate. So if you like accurate information, we trust that you'll be an active member of our community. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to be an active member of the community. Some of you have become a little bit inactive. Yes, and that's okay. If you want to become inactive with certain things, that's fine. But I don't know. People who get on the bandwagon and want to get off because they make a bad decision or because they maybe, I don't know, maybe they become afraid. This is not the time to become afraid. Okay, this is an expressed softness in the market. It's a pure technical. This is not something to generate fear, not whatsoever, guys. That boat left. Okay, the whole fear boat. When you get into I'm going to tell you. When you get into the technicals, when you're able to describe them with specificity, when you're able to calculate them, okay, all of the other panic mode and the levels of urgency to buy, all of that flies out the window. You don't need to express those emotions in terms of your trading. We definitely try to prepare and to continue, I'd say, a level of decorum and professionalism. I do have a suit on today. Okay, I had some things to do earlier on today, and in terms of that, I just want you guys to try and work on your emotional state while you're looking at big moves like this on Bitcoin. This obviously affects your altcoins too. I told you yesterday I spoke with a guy in the morning. He has a not 500. He has a 1 million to be accurate. And maybe I'll bring him on the show. He has a $1 million position in Dogecoin. All right. So he's, he is the coolest cat you're going to meet. He is the coolest. And you think, well, maybe he just has the money. Well, he made the money. guys. He made the money, and in terms of that level of decorum and professionalism, it's fun to express hype. It's fun to go through the excitement. We definitely do that when it comes to key plays like this on big money, guys, and when it comes to a key calculation like this. I just want to make sure you guys are prepared without all the hype, and you guys understand the difference in terms of like a panic mode. We're not in panic mode right now with Bitcoin. We struck a resistance. Okay, now we're going to delve into what this means right now, the softness. What does it mean, softness at the top? As you see it drop a bit more, 43,750, okay? As we look at that, you guys know when I say, we have investment bankers, we have this and that, et cetera, in the group. It's just the truth, guys. But from blue collar to white collar, we want to beat the market. That's it. Because anybody can ride the train. Anybody can jump on the train, this and everything else. While we're on the train, guys, we need to know when to get off, when to get on. We just want this train station stops and the journey to include profit. That's all we want, guys, because there's a lot more to capture in this zone, particularly as we look back. And let's review a little bit in terms of strategy. As you see a channel formation like this, as you see this type of an event, the individuals who didn't do well are the individuals who just held the entirety of this time, guys. So we enjoy trading. Okay, we also love positive price action. This has been a blast. You guys know that. This has been so much fun to achieve this positive price action, the 50%. It's been a blast. But the idea behind trading, okay, the whole premise of it is that you can capture more of the positive price action, more of the profits on the way up, okay, selling and rebuying at a lower price. It's real simple, but it escapes people who maybe you don't have the time to do it. Maybe you think it's too complicated. Maybe, maybe you see a line of resistance and they're like, well, anyone can calculate that. Well, I didn't see anybody. No one. I actually looked, okay, and I rarely do look at anyone else. No one else calculated this. Nobody. So in terms of that, like, you can, I guarantee you guys, you can. I guarantee you, you can. I taught you yesterday how to do it. If you don't think you could, go back and look at the stream yesterday, and I guarantee you, literally guarantee you, if you try, you can. You can calculate this exact level of resistance. That's exciting for me, guys. That's really exciting. The first thing that comes to mind, I'm going to go ahead and say this, is that on the chart right now, on the daily, I don't see any real strong indication on the daily chart that we are problematic in the zone at all beyond this expressed level of extension. Okay, the 44,495 on the daily. Okay, which we pointed out yesterday precisely. I don't see any other expressed, I'd say, limitation in the structuring of Bitcoin when I look to the left. You guys know, as we point out, definitely we have the extensions. This is a level to conquer, but as I look through that and I go through the discussion, the next thing that kind of hits me, I want to know is there anything else to the left that would indicate on the daily, on the macro, as I zoom out, anything else on the left that would indicate that we may have kind of a problem conquering not only this level of resistance, guys, this extension, which we talked about yesterday, but as we work up to the 38.2, okay, this 53,965, is there anything else that could serve as a barrier? I see one hitch right here. We would call it a zigzag. Technically, it is referred to as a zigzag. You can look up New York Institute of Finance. Look up what that term means. It will help you in your trading. They're very profitable, I will tell you that, in terms of an indicator, in terms of what you can trade. You can trade them, or you can use them as a price indication in and of themselves, what they will present to you in terms of an ability to enter or exit a trade, okay? A zigzag, that's what it's called. So in terms of this zigzag, okay, this was, as we recall, I want to review just the basic elements here. This was, let's see, guys, this was a difficult situation. You guys understand, we went through a quote-unquote test of liquidity. You guys, just to recap the market in terms of Bitcoin, all-time high, 64,863.10, $64,863.10. Correct. Now, in terms of that all-time high, we went through a test of liquidity. I believe that's what Mr. Musk called it when he decided to test the liquidity of the market. I hope he feels like that was not only beneficial, but it was necessary. Thereafter, we went through a little bit of bad news, if you guys will recall that. We had everything from the green concern. I just want to cover this in the entirety so you're well informed of the market, guys. If I have a suit and tie on, I'll act like it for a minute. In terms of the entirety of the market, we went through a liquidity test from in and around the time 64,863.10, okay, down to what was this key level here was in and around, guys, and I recall that specifically because a lot of people got taken to the cleaners on that, guys. A lot of people, literally, in terms of that on the shorts and options, et cetera, was awful. 50,000 and around 50,000 that moved down. 64,863 10 down to 50,000. Just to measure this, I want you guys to understand that in and of itself, in a period of 13 days, was a drop of 25%. That is enough, guys, with Bitcoin, much less the altcoin spill out that occurred during that time frame. That was big. A test of liquidity. That was Tesla and Elon Musk saying, "Bam, let's see how this works." Now, we had expressed the top through some dynamics that were clearly identifiable to where that was not a mistake. That was, I'm going to say in terms of him, my impression, that was not a mistake on his behalf. I don't think it was intentionally malicious on his behalf. But what we look at, and I say a mistake because what they also realized is we had created, okay, a real softening. I'd say more than a softening. Probably, I don't want to reuse that term. We had created a situation which I was explaining then as we lowered the slope, guys, as the slope began to roll over on Bitcoin. I was telling people without the price action here to the right that the next move was going to be like this, as a natural just order up process. And then I stated the next move before this occurred would be like this. Okay, so that is where you start to dial into just the basics of mathematics, pattern formation, pricing behavior. These are the situations, guys, that when you do them beforehand and you have people that you were teaching or instructing or traders you were working with, these are the moves that make a huge difference, not just in Bitcoin, in the entirety of the crypto space, guys. So as we look at this, it just becomes very obvious that, that was the move then, okay? Now, this move now, in terms of the resistance, I just want to point this out, okay? We have, let's go through the macro quickly so we can identify that appropriately and discuss that within context after the drop, 64,863.10 down to 50%, let's say down 25%, down to 50,000. Correct. So as we look at this expressed move, I'm glad that other people have picked up on this now in terms of the wedge, which we identified first. We identified it first on the weekly chart. And you may be like, well, he just wants to talk about, yes, I do what I identify first because that's a value to you. 25% or maybe 50% in your altcoin holdings, whether you're going to make money or not. Hey, people with real money listen. People who I'm going to say real money. It doesn't have to be even, guys. It could be $500. They could have real money that someone respects and wants to grow. That's real money. People who are just in the space to gamble, etc. They may not have time for things like this. That's fine. That's fine. That's of zero concern to me. It should be of zero concern to you as well. As should be the hype potential momentums and this and that and the hype functions. If you can't diagnose it technically, if you can't get behind your investment technically, whether or not it's 5,000 or it's 5 million, guys, I just, that's a big warning sign for me, guys, in terms of how you're operating in the space. I think crypto and the players like you, you merit more than that. So I strive for that. Okay. I always strive for that in terms of just respecting the levels of financial involvement. Absolutely. Without a doubt. As we look at this expressed falling wedge, I did find that I'm going to say I was the first to find that on the weekly chart, clearly expressed, beautifully expressed on the weekly. It did work out phenomenally well. It was a bullish pattern. I let people know we're in a bullish pattern on the weekly. It's not working out, and technically it should. Okay, so I don't know. It was there. It did work out. It was a huge swing in terms of this 50% move to the upside, guys. And you guys understand that a falling wedge is a continuation pattern. It is bullish by nature. So I'm glad that the other individuals in and around have picked up on this falling wedge, that they're using it to the extent that the clarity of their technicals allows you to actually comprehend it, or what they're presenting to you. I think that can be of benefit if they could increase their level of clarity and their level of professionalism at times when it's indicated and big money is on the line, or we're up against a strong, I'd say, level of resistance that needs to be clarified within the industry. Maybe not everyone got it. I don't think anyone else got it. it did require some advanced guys, some advanced up to date. And I stated because JP Morgan, because the other individuals, these institutional individuals, just decided they're going to be offering guys Bitcoin and crypto funds to their wealth clientele. I did indicate yesterday that I thought that was very like a paramount concern to me as I looked in and decided to say, yes, this seems to be something that is a different nature within a different calculative, kind of a different regimen that's taken over, almost like you would change your diet, or something like that, change what you're eating, change the number of times you go to the gym, or change your routine. This is a different calculative. It's a different variable that's been inserted based upon my research and my calculations, and I believe that's due to the fact that we have some institutional players in the market now, i.e. JP Morgan. Now, we had Grayscale, we had Tesla, we had some different entities involved in the crypto space, quote-unquote trading or holding, or a lot of times broadcasting their message. Very unprofessional. I'm going to have to say very unprofessional for some of those corporations to be broadcasting the fact, i.e. they were shorting Dogecoin. I remember that with Grayscale. Was it? He said we're going to short Dogecoin. Just letting everyone know that. I'm not sure about that, guys. That's a very interesting nuance of the space. I'm not sure it really assists the overall space in terms of doing that. So yes, the calculative has worked out. I need to plug this in. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I thought we were plugged in. Maybe we're not plugged in. I have a new little machine here that should be plugged in. You're going to have to give me 2 seconds to plug this in and make sure we're plugged in. 2 seconds. You guys enjoy yourself. 1 second. And there we go. We are plugged in. Apologize for that brief interruption. I'm sorry about that. That is no fun to have to plug in. We definitely want to make sure that you're plugged in. Right? I mean, absolutely. That's a good example in terms of being plugged in. It's just odd. I do the same thing. I want to admit this to you guys. I will do something like if I'm scrolling through the newspaper, like I look through this. We have a newspaper theory in terms of how we operate in the market. You guys know that? We have I picked up, I received the Wall Street Journal. What do I do when I get the Wall Street Journal? Some people will get the Wall Street Journal. While we hit this target, I want to go over this. Some people will get the Wall Street Journal, and what will we do? We'll just flip through it. We'll look real quickly. We'll kind of, this and that. We'll see something that looks interesting. We'll look at it, and then, well, maybe we'll get a little more interested. We'll read this paragraph, that paragraph, everything else. Well, we'll flip another few pages. What else looks interesting? Okay, guys. Yeah, we have a newspaper approach to technical analysis. Guys, I just want to let you know that the newspaper approach to technical analysis on this level is not going to work very well. If you want to plug in for 5 minutes or 2 minutes and you want the quick, easy answer, and you want the equivalent, of the genie in the bottle, guys, that's not what you're going to get. If you want to profit, if you really want to profit on your holdings, guys, you're going to need to put in a little bit more than the genie in the bottle, and you get your 3 wishes and everybody gets rich, right? And I just say that because, guys, it's not easy. I do that level of work. I try and, guys, I give it to you in live stream, give it to you in the back, etc. I try and always foster that in terms of how can I make things more efficient, right? But I really feel like some people just want this magical genie in the bottle, and they just want to know, they want to join VIP, pay $100, and they want all the answers about how they're going to make, 200 or 300% in the next 2 weeks, or their $100 wasn't worth it. No, it doesn't work like that, guys. You're going to need to put in a little bit of time yourself if you're going to be productive, if you're going to be, if you're going to do this thing, right? This thing called crypto. I'm going to draw a few lines. That's just the truth. And you can take it to heart, or you can leave it right where it came out of my mouth. I'm going to draw a line here. Okay, I'm going to draw a new line here. I want you guys to just consider this specific line right here because I see it. And I'm going to draw a few lines today that I see. We're going to explore just a touch in terms of the technicals and what we may be doing right now amidst the softness that has been expressed by this hit, guys, by that hit. And let's go to something you guys can definitely see. I think you can see that pink. As we are currently touching down into this zone, I want you guys to look at this expressed line across the way here, and I want you to consider what this could be, okay? Essentially what we could be operating on in terms of like this could operate as a confirmation level for a breakout of kind of a different sort. On the different time frames, I think you're clearly going to see that this would be indicated, okay? This would be indicated on the different time frames, but I'm always looking at these trend line, guys. As we look at entry and exit, these types of trend lines can define the next hit. All right. Now, it's not always something that we would stick with. I would do some exploratory work as you guys look at trading, and many of you are looking at, definitely like trading full time as you're looking at entering into larger positions, right? On the daily, we wouldn't always draw trend lines, okay? We wouldn't always. If something we start to draw it, I just wanted to go through the technicals today in terms of, what's the level of work that I do? Like what is the, the level of precision that we get to? It comes from hours and hours and hours and hours of doing trend-based analytics. Hours, guys. It comes from getting up early yesterday morning. Literally, the crack of dawn. Early, making sure I got you the calculation in terms of this level of resistance, okay? It's not all traveling, I don't know, it's not all flash and pizzazz, all right? So you guys know that. But I just do see some different indications here internally that I want to explore. I see this I'd say a real easily identifiable standard deviation within this zone. Right, I see that. I'd say this, in terms of the exploratory, I would want to go back right now to the hourly. I'd want to go back to the hourly and remind myself on the hourly as I'm looking for different patterns, as I'm looking for a reason, quote unquote, why, or something to combat this recent hit into the resistance I brought you yesterday. I'm going to remind myself that we have a clearly expressed, after doing some exploratory work, always do that. Always give yourself the freedom to do that. Exploratory work on reinforcing this double bottom. Right? So we get back to this. We do a bit of exploratory work. We understand there could be a few cross-confluent lines in terms of what we could be, I'd say, reconfirming off of. And we get into like a real interesting, I'd say, discussion right here in terms of are we breaking out of a channel? Okay, are we breaking out of, and this is easier to see on the 1 hourly. Have we broken out of a channel? Okay, a sideways channel, and this is something I just want to go back to. We have broken out potentially of a sideways. It's angulated a little bit, guys. It's a little bit angular, and we might play with the degree to which we have broken out of it. But I've just had this in the backdrop quite frequently in terms of like my own analysis. And this channel becomes quite well expressed within the confines. We have, essentially like a sine wave. You would look at a sine wave up, down. Now we have some variability in here, which makes, I'm just going to do some analytics today. Normally we have a conference call. We do. I may do that later, but right now I want to go through some analytics for people that want to learn. So we're going to go through some analytics. I would say, we have an upper and lower, kind of starts to remind of a regression trend. It does. It starts to remind a little bit of a regression trend. We'd have an upper level, upper limit. We'd have a lower level. And we have a kind of a central level. The majority of the action would be, the price action would be in this central component in here. True. We do have an expressed within that channel. We have an expressed kind of level of highs and we have a level of lows. Now, in terms of that, I can get a little bit more detailed on this. I can go and select, if we wanted to select, I would say a rectangle. I would do kind of like a rectangle to give us the feel in terms of what the top of this channel might kind of feel like if we were to do that. Yeah, the top of the channel might kind of feel like that in terms of the express, say the upper limit or the upper kind of area of that channel. I also might do that on the lower level to kind of redefine things. And I remind myself during this process that at the bottom here, if we go to the candles, this channel is much better expressed. I remind myself now as I do the exploratory work, as you guys learn how to do your technical analysis, I'm reminded of the fact that's right. Now, it seemed like we had a big deviation from the express, the indications of the channel in terms of this sideways. We have a line of resistance and a line of support. Here, I'm reminded that off of the lines, the actual candle work, guys, the candles, the wicks, do express something that's in line with the overall fulfillment of a line of support. This line of support has been very strong. So as I'm doing the analytics in terms of this specific channel formation, I believe that's a valid process to go through as you look at really honing your skills. Shout out to the new VIP members, guys. Shout out to the new VIP members. I want to just say hello to you. I understand that you're studying. I understand you've bought your book. And guys, if you want a book in terms of how to beat the market, that's the best one I know. I know you guys, some of you like to read and like to study. So this would be, I would say, an express channel that we have broken out above. I'm going to give that more weight right now. And this is the important part of today. Like, well, couldn't you have just said it? Well, I want you guys to do a little bit of work, believe it or not. I want you to appreciate the level of success you have when you have it. I think that you'll be more proactive, not just in terms of buying, but you'll be more proactive in terms of selling when you need to sell. And I don't think that's clearly expressed enough in the industry, in crypto, guys, in terms of two buttons you need to hit. One is to buy. Copy that. The other one is to sell, guys. So when you're able to do the work and you appreciate the technicals more, you're going to understand what a line of resistance is. You will have appreciated it because you formulated it yourself. You'll understand that's a take, right? The line of resistance is a take, right? Absolutely. So as we look at that, this would be the expressed channel formation, okay, with kind of I'd say a standard deviation, essentially a middle, just say a median area, kind of a middle area, guys. We won't get into the regression trends, etc. We won't get into all the nuances, but you can see it has an upper and a lower bound to it. It also has kind of a middle area with the majority of the price. We can adjust these triangulations or these rectangulations however we choose to. We can play with this model. It is adjustable, all right? So in terms of that, use the facilities on Gate. Guys, Gate is a really phenomenal interface. Technically, guys, it's just solid, guys. In terms of the actual nuances, how you can tie together the technicals, it's very nice. The more you use it, the more you like it. I think the more you'll like it. So currently at 43,488, okay, we have come into contact. Let's review on the daily. Let's go ahead and review what has occurred. Yesterday, we came to you with the technicals, and it was, guys, a huge call. You guys understand that? Huge call. Let's look at the technical level of resistance that I provided you yesterday. And, guys, you see the hit direct on it. You see the take. Okay, we just did this broad-based channel here. Correct? Now, it looks different on the smaller time frames. Always adjust your time frames. Always look into the different, structures. The candles are going to cut through a lot of that. The candle wicks will always show you guys the top level achieved or the bottom level achieved. Correct? Yes. So let me check in the chats, make sure everybody's doing well. Let's see. Crypto down as of today. Okay. Shout out to all you VIPs. We appreciate you being here. And I would love to talk with you guys in the back DM right now. We're really at a critical phase right now in terms of expression of, kind of my duty. I feel my duty to the VIP, the top level of membership in the back. They're the ones that have expressed, that they want this level of technical on the consistent. So if you guys would like to join, we just invite you to join that group. It's a top level of membership. It's $100 a month. People are making that in a day, in a week. I mean, they're clearing the whole year sometimes in a couple of days. So if you're serious about crypto, we'd love to have you. Another. I'm just going to say this. I'm not sure if this just popped up. I just keep seeing this. I just keep kind of seeing something up along this line. I'm not sure why, and I don't like the bottom portion of it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I don't like the bottom portion where I would set this, but I'm definitely seeing a new line of resistance, and I want you guys to copy that. I want you guys to plug into this. At least through this area along the top, I'm seeing a new line of resistance up along the top, and I'm not sure that it's really clearly indicated again on the bottom portion. It may be a line of resistance that is developing now. It does seem to cut through the majority of the price action, and as we know on the larger time frames, this is the daily. Okay, the price action that you're looking here will be consolidated. Okay, it will be tightened up on a different time frame. So that's making me think I might want to jump into a larger time frame, more of a macro time frame, and really explore this, because I do see, this level indicated up on top in terms of the two hits along this line of resistance. Guys, it's not a line of support, or else you'd be above it, right? Copy that. So it's going to be a line of resistance here, clearly indicated. And when I draw that down, I'm encountering the bulk, guys, of this move here that was just a real frustrated time. So I know there's a lot of price action there that can be consolidated at a larger time frame. Maybe not a complete move from the daily to the week. You can get nuanced with your time frames. You guys understand that. We could get into a 2-day, a 3. We could get into different time frames, but that's telling me while it doesn't look proper, quote, like I'd say technically conformant here, I would say it is telling me to some degree that there may be something there after all. There may be a move there after all, and as I hitch into it just a bit, guys, this is the type of thing that becomes interesting as you see a level, and you guys who trade quite a bit, you see that right away. You do. You see kind of a hit here, right? A hit and an attempt to conquer some sort of line. That hitch is there for a reason, right? Yes, then you see a breakdown and you see a confirmation, a move to the downside. So that's developing. This is a pattern that's currently developing with the recent hit, which I brought you yesterday, along that 23.6, specifically calculated down to ground zero, specifically calculated to zero, which is really an anomaly. I would say that I would like to say that that's a new introduction into the crypto space. That's a new facet of the market that I'm really looking forward to continuing to exist, guys, to continuing to use that strategy in the future. We updated you as soon as I had made the calculation, guys, as soon as I made that calculation. Now, I would want to draw this along the lines of here. I would like to say on the macro, on the daily, as we look back at, I've done this in order. I hope you guys appreciate. Please plug in mentally right now. I've tried to do this in order for the following reason, and I do have a strategy in terms of the way I approach the technicals. I want you to understand, I went through, first of all, this channel formation with the top and the bottom, guys, clearly expressed in terms of a resistance and a support. Copy that. Okay, why, if I look at this in terms of the candles, again, we have it clearly expressed 1, 2, 3 hits along this lower line around the 29,100 and I'd say 200, 29,200. Correct. Okay, now in terms of the top level formation, the top level strike, we have multiple hits around the 41.7, around there, 41. What is this? 41.7 thereabouts, guys. 41. What is that? About 42,000. 42,000, 42,000, 42,000. So as we look at that, I do have a conformance. I have a hit 1, 2, 3. Messy one on 4 and the way up. Let's go ahead and measure this. Let's go ahead and draw through. Let's use our technical tools again. Let's go to the polyline. If I am to draw this down, and I'm going to want to brighten this up for you guys so you can see this. This has been on a real micro level. I want to make sure you guys can see this. As I draw the polyline, I want you guys to just view what we have formulated, and this is I'd say a strategy tip. Okay, drawing down to the wicks. Okay, drawing down to the wicks to give you a better measure or expression of what you're going to encounter on the lower time frames. Okay, so as we see this, this is the formation that we are currently, guys, that we have currently created. I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to demonstrate to you exactly what we're looking at. Now, as we look at that, guys, it's relatively well within a conforming pattern. I'm just going to say relatively well within a conforming pattern that we're in some sort of a channel. Now, we had a few different options here, guys, in terms of the expression of where we're at now and the ideas, I'd say the exploratory technical work that we're going to do to combat this notion that we have broken down. I'm trying to provide you a framework now that you can use to at least analyze this, the entirety of this move. Now, the channel formation, you know, it is there on the wicks. So that is one thing that we're going to use potentially, guys, to understand the level of accuracy is achieved after hours of this. So I'm trying to provide a little bit of a lesson work to people who are new, people who have been hanging around, who maybe, you know, you want to understand more in terms of, well, how did you hit that exact level of the resistance, guys? So as we look at that, I feel confident that, yes, within a degree of probability, within a degree of probability, I'd say more than 50%. That's what I would say, the most highly probable, I'm looking at 90, 95%, maybe, absolute certainty, 100%. So when I say highly certain, or I'm sorry, excuse me, Highly certain. I wouldn't say that. When I say highly probable, understand, guys, I'm talking about an event that is within 90 to 95% in terms of the completion, or within a pattern conformance to 90 to 95%. That's highly probable to me, right? Okay, when we look at like extremely probable, almost to a near certainty, I'm talking 98, 99%. I like my trades to fall in the category of being like extremely probable. I like to be at that 95% threshold in terms of my entry, okay? In terms of my technicals, you guys clearly see and you understand that in terms of those technicals, guys, we just absolutely nailed the technicals. We absolutely hammered it, guys. In terms of that, like I'm very excited for the group that you guys had access to that hit ahead of time. Okay, and that hit again, yeah, I mean, it just crept up on the daily, guys. This is not anything other than what I told you yesterday, literally looking right at you. As we look at this circular component here, I want to just say that was the target. Bam. Line of resistance, what does that mean? That's a take. Bam. Good job. I don't like to tell people when to buy or when to sell. I like you guys to do the technicals and understand when something is a take. Understand when something is a buy. Level of support, you're going to buy. That's the buys are usually indicated. Level of resistance, a take. Okay, so that's the nuance of how that's the structural, guys. It's not financial advice. That's how technicals are applied. So as we look at this formation, first of all, we've covered this channel here. Bam, sideways on the candlesticks again. That's an assistive method for you to use in terms of your accuracy there. You can draw the polyline out. You can retrace things on the candles. You can draw that down. That's a good tool for you guys to use in terms of clearly expressing the price action and the entirety of the price action, which will show, guys, that entirety of the price action will show on the smaller time frames. Right, okay? The larger time frames, it's more consolidated. Understand that, guys. It's less movement in the larger time frames. So as we look at this rising wedge, we have a bit of I'd say a nuanced issue here, because we've defined this rectangular event here. And it's not, guys, I'm doing some exploratory work here with you just to show you what I do. On Saturdays, I used to sit around and find you guys the next 2x, or 3x, or 5x. You may say, well, that's what I want to do. Well, it's no good if I find you a 2x or a 5x, honestly, and you don't trade it properly. Or you get into it and you're there and maybe you held on it too long and you lost money. So these are some technicals that can at least apply to those different things. Well, you guys have access to a ton of hot coins on Gate, right? And the startups included, guys. It's very interesting. I look forward to you guys being more a part of that. Had some good discussions with shout out to AJ. How are you? Had great chime in yesterday from Angel. How are you? We want to say hello to you, the top supporter you guys see on top. Over 12,000 in terms of just say, guys, he's done phenomenally well listening to the channel. So I think that's great. And before then, he's a mainstay in the crypto market. We're very excited. He's a legend around here, and he always will be. He's like a brother. We really appreciate you, Angel, staying a part of the community. And when you guys do donate to the channel, etc., it just lets us all know you're doing well, right? That's what I want to know. Are people doing well? I know Angel's doing well. He went through some heavy accumulation periods around this time. He's one of the ones that listened when I said, on stream, now would be a good time. I think now would be a good time to buy Bitcoin, right? So when it's indicated, you guys know I'm there. The guys who are able to listen and put it into practice without me managing their portfolios, that has not been in the mix at all. But those are the guys that are doing well. So this is a bearish pattern that has been developed. This is bearish. Now, there really may not be that big of a problem. Why? Because I'm going to loop that into the overall structure here that we're looking at and saying, well, it may be natural, irrespective of this bearish pattern, for us to want to, or need to, I'd even say need to, reconfirm off of the entirety of this sideways channel, guys. This rectangular formation, right? Now, it's not necessary to look at the patterning or the structuring like this, guys, but I want to do a little bit of exploratory work today. Why? Because yesterday was so precise and on call. At least I would like you to be able to formulate in your own minds with your own work how you can come up with these things. So if you're spending the time, guys, I'll tell you, if you're spending the time to develop your technical analysis, you'll get to the point where you can do these things yourself. If you're just looking for the right answer, you may be looking for the right answer for the rest of your investing career, and you may never find it. Or you may find it once for this guy, and then you made 50 grand, and then it went really south. And then, no, guys, you need to be able to develop the right answer. That's what we're focused on here, is teaching you guys, and really generating that within the community. we have, I'd say in the market right now, there's some individuals, some institutional types that are trading this consistently that we can run with them. Guys, it's not going to be with one lead guy saying, hey, everyone buy, hey, everyone sell. It's not going to be that. It's going to be a group dynamic that we're putting together that we can, bust knuckles out and say, yeah, I got this. What'd you get? I got this. Great. We can powwow like that. We can definitely have a good time in terms of that synergy, right? That symbiotic kind of synergistic relationship that we're building that is just crucial. So as we look at this, I don't want to give it a bearish expression. I do want to complete this rising wedge to the upside. It can occur if it decides to fall down into this area, okay? It may be reachieving a confirmation. Now, the momentum to the upside was enough, guys. It was enough to merit a bit of a stretch in terms of the breakout of a channel like this, okay? Now, I have gone away from one thing. Why have I gone away from one thing? Like, this is different. This is new. I'll explain. Let me explain. Allow me to, please. I have gone away from the notion that we have just broken out of a falling wedge. Why? Because there's a little bit of a discussion that goes on in terms of a falling wedge, in terms of what are your pricing targets, right? What are the pricing targets? How do we know how far this move will go, right? So the information that I'm providing to you now, guys, the information I'm providing to you now, it deals with the question of where are we headed, right? I want to give you guys a pricing target on the upside, assuming one thing that you already entered into, I'd say, entered into. I don't want to talk about shorts, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't want you guys trading options. I don't want you guys to get burned. As we look at this, assuming that you sold and that you're re-entering, let's say that you're not on the option side. Assuming that you have sold this position, you're looking for let's say another opportunity to enter into the market. This discussion is very, very instrumental because we have an expressed line here, okay, of support already. We also have, I'd say one quasi hit. We have two hits in terms of a line of resistance. This gets interesting. You're looking for an entry point. It may be a heavy entry point. You understand? Right. This formation here gives you the possibility for an entry heavily into the market. You say, well, I would just, London, I appreciate all that. I'm just going to hold. Well, you can. I mean, if you choose to, that's your right. You can go through a loss of potentially 5-6%. You can go through a loss of that every day and skip through that, or you can try and profit 5 or 6%. Or you can, as the 5s add up to 10s, add up to 20s, you can try and profit that 20% in this zone. And that 20, you can do that 4 times and you can double your money. All right, 4 times, 20%, you're going to double your money. So it's instrumental in terms of your returns, the notion that we have a line of resistance and a line of support. The fact that this area here, and always ready for a breakout, Now, at this point, I would play the breakout. I would play the breakout of me personally, of this line of resistance. I would wait for this to accomplish a breakout, all right? I would be prepared for moves within this channel. In the smaller time frames, guys, we're making 10, 20 moves at a time here, in terms of the overall group. People are trading very heavily. I want to congratulate you guys. Over $1 million traded per month right now, just on Gate. I love that, guys. It's a big salute. Shout out to everybody. Gate, you guys on Gate right now. This is why I talk about. I want the data. I want to know how much you guys are trading. At some point, that's important to me to be able to understand that you guys are trading that much, right? That you're trading that frequently. That trading is that big of a success with you. That you're enjoying it that much. Understand, as I put together content for you, right? As I put together the content for you, I want to make sure that it's to your liking, that you're actually engaged in what the purpose of the channel is. It's to trade, guys. It's to profit off crypto. If people aren't doing that, then things need to change, right? So the fact that you're trading $1 million a month plus, love it. Love it, guys. I absolutely love it. That's huge information. So as we, and I'd like to make that 10 million. Okay, we can make it 10 million a month that's being traded. And in terms of that, I'd like to make it $1 million that you're making, and then I'd like to make that 10 million that you're making. And I mean profit. That's the goal. If that sounds good, hello. If that sounds good, I think that's a good goal. It's a realistic. I'd say that's a realistic endeavor of ours, and we are putting the nuts and bolts together on that level of on that level of a playing field. Okay, I'm having some discussions with people. We're doing some good things, so I'd like to see that come to fruition. I definitely know that it can. Anything we set our mind to, I know we can. So in terms of that, guys, the level of pickup here would be in this zone along the previously identified. And this is where you would want to start not only really measuring your lines, talking about a pickup line, but guys, what I'm going to say is, do you think we're the only ones in the market right now that are looking at this potential as a pickup? No. Now, the sophisticated traders, the advanced traders are the ones that right now are looking at this and saying, yes, this is the zone that for the pickup, right? This is definitely the zone for the pickup. So as we look at that, just understand it's not just me. It's not just an idea. This is what people are looking at right now in the market. So again, I had brought up the fact, understand that is a bearish, guys. Technically it's bearish, okay? I'm not going to hold anyone to it. But technically, a rising wedge is bearish, all right? Now, the issue is it may do one of a few things. It could either conquer it, okay, clearly. It could go down to the bottom of this line of support, provide an excellent entry for a conqueror, guys, conquering this pattern to the upside. Love to see that. As we look at the possibility of that, the other option is that we would complete something in here, frustrate and move to the downside here along this line of what would be hopefully at that point support. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on here. I would definitely want you guys to stay plugged in. Stay plugged in, guys, to the back, because this is going to get exciting. I'm going to tell you guys, it's going to get exciting. We have a beautiful move to the top. I've stated all along, I don't anticipate that would just be wasted. It hasn't thus far. We've made a lot of profits, guys. You have done very well in terms of your positions. 50% over a number of days. Doge finally caught wind. I'm so glad about that, guys. I'm really, really personally, I'm so glad about that. I didn't miss an ounce of that price action. So, I don't talk about my holdings that frequently, but yeah, I was fully participatory, not just telling you guys, hey, look at your price action or look at your pricing targets. No, I was in it to win it with you guys. Huh? How about that? We had some great accumulation levels at the lower position. So that was nice. Again, the rising wedge. Let's go ahead and color that different colors so you guys can definitely see exactly what I'm talking about. And today I just want to be a little bit instructional. Met a advisor, tutor, etc. yesterday. I told you guys, Will Smith. Yeah, his business advisor, one of his business advisors. Yeah, cool guy. I've known him for years. He's a cool dude. He teaches. He mentors people. He's an interesting guy. So as we look at the expression of this, guys, this is the rising wedge I'm talking about. All right. Now it is built to fall out. It's a bearish pattern. It's going to provide an opportunity, we hope, to enter at a lower price after, guys, the whole idea is to maximize gains. If we have an expressed hit like we have on the level of resistance, okay, on this level of resistance, the 23.6, which I clearly, unambiguously brought to your attention yesterday, right? Yes, absolutely. This exact hit. Look at the daily chart. Good heavens. Look at the daily chart. It's literally perfectly targeted up level of resistance. That is just perfection, guys. That's what we want to bring to you. I always tell you accurate information in a timely manner. And, guys, it was a beautiful take for those who did. On the lower time frames, it became, I'd say, very important that we broke an upward trend line, Those are takes, guys. When you have a line of support and you're breaking through that, guys, that's a moment there. You don't want to be on the wrong side of that. I'll tell you guys. You always want to pick up within the pattern conformance, etc., and you want to essentially express the same behavior that the advanced traders are expressing. Otherwise, it's very difficult to compete with them. People want to know why there's 95% of the market may lose, right, over time. Well, people who try and trade, etc., or even hold, etc., like, people buying too high, wrong price, etc. Well, they're not looking at patterns like this. They're not. They want the slam dunk easy answer, guys. Slam dunk easy answer is we're going to beat you. I'm going to tell you, if we focus on technicals and you don't, we're going to beat you. That's just it. So, over time, with the application of probabilities, we should beat someone who's not focused at all. There's always the random walk theory. Someone going on a random walk could get to their destination. that does exist. Someone could randomly start walking, in San Francisco and randomly wind up right in New York at the Empire State Building. Random walk theory does exist, but the technicals, the map, the instructions, right? That's what we focus on. So it's not a random walk from San Francisco to New York showing up at the Empire State Building. The theory, the logic may exist, guys, and no matter how badly you would want to get to the Empire State Building, I want to get there so badly, leaving from San Francisco. Guess what? You need the technicals. Okay, I'm going to tell you if you're walking. Maybe you've been around for a while. You know the way. If the roads have changed or anything like that, it could get a little could get a little hairy in the crypto market as well. Some of you guys are old timers. So as we look at this, guys, we're looking for a pattern conformance in line with this rising wedge. Also, on the upside, I want to let you guys know, let's go ahead and measure this. The reason I went to this, let's go ahead and measure this. If we were to move this to the upside, if we were to go within the express pattern conformance, I want to focus on that instead of just the, let's see here, we're going to tuck this back down here. It's an interesting measurement. Okay, and we've achieved this on the lines. I want to let you guys know that on the lines, on the wicks of the sticks, as I like to say. Now, the purpose of this is because people don't know what is the target of a falling wedge. And I'm going to say, in general, you can do your Fibonacci's. You can say the strength of the market, stochastics, in with RSI and MACD. We can get all through the volume. We can get through all of that, okay, and still be uncertain. Still have a scaling approach in terms of profits taken, entries made, okay, on the top and the bottom. That strategy is frequently required in terms of your understanding of how the market works, and your valid participation in it. Scaling in on the way down, scaling out on the way up. It's just a part of the process. We talk about brackets. Having, say, a smaller bracket even to day trade with, a larger bracket that you kind of carry with you, and exit on the big power moments, like this big power moment at 23.6 at the 44.949, what is it, 44.495 thereabouts. So that level of resistance we hit. So to the upside, guys, we would, and I'd say we have a contraindication, but I just want to give you some degree of good news along with this recent move. Okay, I want to give you, with the recent move to the downside, I want to let you guys know that there is a dual indication. I'm going to say a dual indication here that the next move could put us up above the 38.2, because this just acted like a stone wall. I mean, just an absolute like armored, Abrams tank in front of us. Like, okay, we're gone, right? That's essentially what this calculation did, guys. So as we look at that next move to the upside, guys, the next move is indicated beyond the 38.2. I just want to bring that up as something that allows us to do what? At least it allows us to provide a measure for the distance here in terms of where we might be headed, okay? Not just playing the levels of resistance, but something to give us a bit of confidence, a little bit of confidence as you do trade along the way up, potentially even to play a little more aggressively once you have established a pattern formation and you're looking at, well, I don't want you to be timid. I don't want you to be afraid in the market. Fear engenders a whole lot of bad decisions when it comes to people who are operating or say that they're operating the market. That's just not the that's not the way to operate in the market. You guys know that. Looking like we're making a decent move now. Come to speak of it, let's look on the lower time frames now. Talking about being aggressive, I've given to the back rooms. I've given them Fibonacci's. I've given them Fibonacci's. Let's look at how this is working out in the entirety now. Are we making a move? Yes, we are. Good. Love to see that. Let's make the move. Let's challenge this line now, and let's use it as, guys, instead of a resistance, let's use it as a support. That would be beautiful. I would love that to occur. I would love to trade heavily once we are there. Not to carry up and down and this and that and everything else. The entry was indicated here, and I can let you guys know the levels that the VIP had in the back that I'm certain they literally, were trading. I know they were trading that in the back. You hit your 38.2. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Programmed. I always say, if you have something to do, no problem, just go do it. Just make sure you enter your orders before you leave, right? So very nice to see you guys up on the 38.2 right now. That's a decent move. That's a nice move. Now, what would I be concerned with or focused on at this point? I would be focused on a potential rejection of the preceding trend. I would want to see this, and you'll probably see a capitulation here as we watch this. This is on the hourly. You may see a capitulation here in terms of a take at this level as people decide essentially whether or not they want to respect this previous channel of the price action up at around 44,143. This would be a natural take. Let's go to the candles just so we see. It hasn't gotten there yet. We can watch this literally behave itself around this expressed move right here. Now you'll see the same kind of dynamics in play that we had at the bottom, the channel formation, right? We want to, on the macro, we want to break out of that channel. I'm doing that for purposes of for purposes of targeting on the upside, of moves to the upside, right? But the same idea, breaking out of this macro channel, guys. Breaking out of, you can just see it so clearly now. It's so nice, isn't it? In terms of breaking out of this channel to the upside and confirming to the upside, we want to achieve the same here. Okay, we have the same contained price action within this zone. Correct. We have the same contained levels of price action. Maybe a little variability there. But we have a channel. It's just a diagonal channel. Now, an upward diagonal channel is what? We always cover this. It's bearish by design. You guys know that? Typically, they're bearish by design. We always look for an ascending triangle within them to see if that can beat and go to the upside. Bitcoin is famous for having ascending triangles peppered in throughout the lower time frames, particularly as we're in something that would be, it's the nuance of trading Bitcoin. As you look at, and really all your coins, you look at Dogecoin and et cetera, not being technically conformant. Yeah, this is a nice trick to tuck away in the vest pocket. As we look at that dynamic, understand, guys, those rising or those ascending triangles, guys, flat line of support across the top, okay, an ascending line of support, resistance and support. One of the strongest moves, okay, I'd say aside from a bull pennant or a bull flag, one of the strongest moves you can find at all. Not really indicated right now. I'm always hunting those down because they pay, guys. They create money. So this is a level given to VIPs in the back, guys. You're 38.2. Nicely done in terms of that. It's a solid hit. You're doing well. You're in the money. And on that 38.2, nice to see you picking back price action. And I know you guys are involved. I can tell you're involved. I gave you guys the information in the back, and I know you guys like to trade. So congratulations to the VIP in the back. If you guys like those pricing targets, or you don't have them, you need to join the right group. For those of you who just joined, I think you're already seeing, yeah, that's a nice move, huh? Now, when something does hit, you guys need to understand, sometimes you'll need to have some patience. You guys understand that in terms of executing your trade, they're not going to be, quick. They're not going to be that quick. Smaller time frames are quick, but typically that's less money. It's to negotiate and navigate the liquidity on the lower time frames. You really have to know what you're doing. It can be done. It's a lot of work. So as we look at this, what we're going to look for now is whether or not Bitcoin can re-enter this channel. If it can, what we may have indicated, I'm going to tell you what we may have indicated again, after an opportunity to pick up Bitcoin at a lower price, at what level of a discount. Now, these can be gauged in terms of, you say, well, how much would you put in, when, where? They can be gauged, they can be determined in terms of the moves, etc. Okay? You're always looking for a reestablishment of the trend. That's all I'm going to say. Right now, well, how much should we? You're always looking for a reestablishment of the trend. You're taking into consideration the other patterns around you. Okay, so we can get into those details as needed. Now, in terms of this drop in price, guys, about a 3% drop in price. Let's go ahead and measure that necessarily on the candle wicks, because after hitting that level of resistance along the top, yeah, you're looking at about 4.5%, 4.5% that could have been gained, potential profit that could have been achieved. Right? So we're not necessarily out of the woods yet on this just because we hit a Fibonacci. That tells me people are trading. That tells me you guys are trading. That 38.2, I'm happy to see that. As we look at the $1 million a month just thrown in, it may be more than that on different exchanges, but that's why I like Gate Exchange. So you guys are all plugged in on Gate Exchange, that we have that material, we have that information, I'd say active. So we would not want to see, but we may. People, and I'll say you guys probably will. I'll say you'll probably take at this line of previous support and toy with the idea of turning it into resistance. I know on this level of move, you'll probably do that. There will be some opportunities probably before then for you to already book your trade, right? This, we'll talk about, increased levels. There's a little bit of experience that's required. I'm just going to say that in terms of how you guys are looking at how heavily you go into patterns, etc. There's a little bit of experience that is necessary in that. It comes with dealing with price action. So as we as we hit a Fibonacci, you guys know we are more solid on that, guys, I think, than any group. I'm so glad to have delved into that and delivered that in the back rooms to the VIP. Congratulations. As we're at that, guys, I think we're at a decent stopping point. I want to go ahead and dig in and show you what I just delivered to them. Let's see if we can get into. First of all, follow us over on Bitcoin Spike. Also follow us at the Kingdom. It's Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin Spike. I want to show you guys the Fibonacci's that we delivered to them. And they were updated with the message, let's draw our own, et cetera. I always like you guys to do your own in terms of the Fibonacci works, et cetera. Somebody's Ramboing out. I like to see that. Good job. It is time to battle. You guys know that. So in terms of the Fibonacci's, guys, just definitely demonstrated on multiple time frames, giving you also this move, which was what? Which is a falling wedge within the dissension, right? How'd that play out, guys? Bingo. VIP perks, guys. Nice job. Nice hit from the falling wedge. Way to book those trades and make some cash, guys. You're the number one team. You know that. So in terms of all that, you guys just continue to work hard and work hard, play hard, have a good time. This is London with the Crypto Kingdom. I'll be around if you guys need to talk via Spaces or anything else. I'll be around today. We'll talk about some investment ideas. We're putting together a good group, guys. It's going to be a heavy hitting club. We're going to make some cash. We have to. It's crypto volatility. If we don't take advantage of this, what are we going to take advantage of? Huh? We're not going to let other people rule the day. We're going to hit with the big hitters. We're going to show them who we are. So this is London. You guys have a great day. Have a good rest of your weekend. Remember to eat well, sleep well. Markets open 24/7. Eat well, sleep well, and make sure you appreciate those relationships around you. Invest in those relationships around you that you knew were worth investing in before you started investing.